a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then intense to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, ready from ear to ear. Craving and rating it rain, rekindle the flame. Close as she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know I've heard this. In paradise, in paradise. We know that I've heard this. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host with Matt Clark. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark. And today, it is Wednesday, so we switch off between two of my favorite places to eat. Of course, we were at Nez last week, and today we are at Rococo's, located at 4308 Northwestern, right across from the Drum Room and Topango's and VZD's, right across from Masashi's, and next to oh my God, Sushi Nico. I almost forgot the name. And then, of course, on the other end is the Will Rogers Theater. If you haven't been there, it's one of my favorite places to go as well. So, but today we're having we're sitting out on the patio enjoying this semi-cool weather. It's not hot. It's not cold. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself today. Got some water, and of course, it is Wednesday, so it is Rococo chicken, which is Nashville-style chicken. And if you haven't had it, it is absolutely fantastic. I talked to Carolyn Henthorne and Rick Henthorne, and they told me that they had it last week and how good it is. I'm like, if you haven't been here on Wednesday night, all their food is great. And, of course, their lobster shrimp risotto is one of my favorites, along when he does the tomahawks. And the lobster is great as well. But anyway, today is Wednesday, so it's Rococo Chicken Day on Wednesday. They are open Sunday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then, of course, on Fridays and Saturdays, they're open from Fridays and Saturdays, they're open from 11 to 11. So it's a great place to come and enjoy yourself. The food is fantastic. The staff is great. They do a fantastic job of making sure that the food is consistent, which it always has. And if you haven't never had their crab cakes, well, that's a whole nother story in itself. Trust me on that. For catering events, you can contact them at 405-534-8838. That's 405-534-8838. And, man, I tell you what, I hope everybody had a safe and fantastic 4th of July yesterday. My fat man and I, we went and did some stuff with the fam. I was going to go see my guy Greg Nafee, but ended up doing family stuff instead. So that is my other family, Greg and Max and Mike Deba and and Lisa. That's my second family, along with Randy Wright, Mark Long, and those guys. That's my second family. So, but anyway, went with the first family, had fun with them. Got to not necessarily go to YNB. Usually we go to YNB, but it was my first time with Ace, so I didn't want to bring him there to Yukon Fireworks, which is what I normally do there with YNB, and sit right there underneath the fireworks and watch it, which is great. But Ace, I didn't know how well he would take it, so we just kind of stood on the porch, on my front porch, and watched the Bricktown Fireworks, which is just as good. I mean, it's right there in front of me. It's not, it's 2 miles away, so it's not that big of a deal. So I got a chance to watch that. But anyway, I hope everybody had a fantastic day. I know a lot of people are coming back from the lake and doing that. I don't really, like I said, I don't go to the lake on amateur weekends, which is Memorial Day, Labor Day, and 4th of July. I hardly go to the lake anymore anyway. I used to be a big lake fan until I lived in Puerto Rico for a year on the Caribbean, and it's just not the same when you can go down to the ocean, to the beach, versus going to a dirty lake. You can't see what's underneath you. And in the Caribbean, the water is so beautiful and so blue that you can see what's underneath you. So it's kind of hard for when I came back to Oklahoma. And I do go to the lake occasionally now, don't get me wrong, but I do prefer the lakes in Michigan because the water is much clearer and more beautiful as far as the scenery and things like that. But just to get on that, our Thunder, man, I tell you what, I don't know if you got a chance to see the Thunder play this past Monday night, but they did fantastic. They looked really, really, really good. I I know that what we were trying to do is see how J-Dub, J-Will, and Chet played together, and I will say that I was surprised by Trey Mann. He played really well, but it's weird that third-year guys playing along. We didn't see Jeremiah Robinson Earl at all, which, of course, I'm sure we'll probably see him more tonight and Thursday, and for sure when the actual NBA Summer League actually starts on Saturday. But if you did not see the score Monday night, the Thunder won 95-85. You can see, if you follow me, I like to do the halftime comparison versus the end of the game comparison, so you can kind of see what the Thunder did and the adjustments that they made at half. The Thunder were up 16 at half, and the Jazz were 5 for 15 from three-point, 37% from the field, 26 rebounds, 20 points in the paint, 6 TOs. The Thunder was 7 for 16, 46.8%, 26 rebounds, tied for them with rebounds, and then points in the paint. We were up 6, and we only had 4 turnovers, which, like I said, I've been saying all along, when the Thunder keep the turnovers down, when you play against good teams, you cannot afford to turn the ball over. You just can't. And when the Thunder can keep their which down to 14-15, which is what we were last year, if you can do that, then that makes a huge, huge difference as far as winning games and losing games. And, of course, we had 13 points at halftime for bench scoring to Utah's 4. Second half, we ended up winning the second half. Utah was 9 for 34, which means they didn't shoot the ball well at all, but a lot of it had to do with our perimeter defense was very, very good. I thought not giving a lot of open shots, which those of us that saw the Thunder play last year, the frustration at our perimeter defense or lack thereof and the open shots that we gave were just ridiculous. But anyway, Utah 9 for 34, which meant they went 4 for 19 the second half. Great tribute to the Thunder's perimeter defense. I thought we played really, really well, and Chet did a good job of clogging up the middle with 4 blocks, and we'll talk about him in a minute. They ended up 38% field goal percentage, 47 rebounds, 42 pips, but only 14 turnovers. So they only had 8 turnovers the second half to our 15, but a lot of that came at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter for us, which I really did not watch a lot of the fourth quarter. I did watch the third quarter and was not happy with what I saw from the Thunder. The Thunder were 7-16 in the first half, 13 for 31 in the second half, which meant we were 16 of 15 for the second half. And that's, we were taking some shots. And, a lot of times when you're up 20, we tend to, or any team, that's why a 20-point lead is nothing in the NBA, because teams get up and they start shooting threes. Oh, well, I can shoot threes, and they start shooting them. And that's usually what happens to teams, why NBA teams tend to come back down to earth and other teams get up because they keep shooting threes and they start missing. 43% from the field, so we were down 3 in the second half, 49 rebounds. We were tied, so we won the rebounding by 2, which is a good sign because, we need to definitely improve in that situation. 38 pips, we lost it by 4 when we were up 6. So that's a 14-point swing right there, difference in it. And then, of course, 15 turnovers to their 8. Not good by that, but we had some dumb turnovers. And in those 4, we had the first half. 3 were by Chet in the first quarter. So we did a better job in the second quarter of taking care of the basketball. But after that, finished with 27. Our bench had 27 to their 17. So in that aspect, the Thunder did a really good job. But overall, if you've watched my show that I have After the Storm, which is my OKC Thunder, After the Storm, OKC Thunder, which is my YouTube show, the show that I do, my post-game analysis live stream, which after every Thunder game, I go live and talk about the Thunder and what we did and what we didn't do. Well, most of the time I do. There's been some times that if I try not to have more than 3 beers at Thunder games or watching so I can do the live stream, but occasionally I might get out of hand at a game. And if we're blowing them out, which I hate blowouts, because one, there's nothing for me to talk about. Really, hey, we played great, we played defense, they turned the ball over, we scored. There's not a lot that you can really analyze in a blowout. So I don't really like doing blowouts live streams. But anyway, I did one Monday. I will do one again tonight after the Thunder game and talk about that. So what I will say is that I give us a B minus. J Dub was just, I mean, J Dub and J Will had the first 11 points. So they were outstanding, but J Dub had 9. He reminds me of what Josh was last year in the summer league. He was so much better than everybody that he was playing against that I don't know. I mean, I might play him tonight against the Grizz, but I don't really. I mean, there's no sense of playing him. I mean, he literally is so much better than everybody on the floor. It wasn't even funny. Defensively, offensively, you get to any spot he wanted, do whatever he wanted. So in that aspect of it, it's kind of like Banchero last year. He played one game and he was done. Josh played 2 and he was done. You can play him one more against the Grizzlies, I guess, but I mean, I guess if you're trying to get Chet a little bit more play, then fine. But overall, I mean, I just don't see J-Dub playing him. I mean, he literally is head and shoulders above everybody out there. It's just clear, which is a good sign for the Thunder. We'll talk a little bit more about the Thunder here in a minute, and J-Dub, and Josh, and SGA. We'll talk about that in a minute. Got to throw a little side note to you guys, which some of you all may or may not know. I'm not sure. But Jay Will was fantastic taking charges, and it's so funny is he only played 50-something meaningful games last year. I'm talking about meaningful games. A lot of games he didn't play at the beginning, but I'm just saying meaningful games, and he led the NBA in charges. And he had 2 or 3 the other night on Monday night. And it's simply because I believe he'd have been in the game against the Charlotte Hornets, we would not have lost that game because you had Jeremiah Robinson in there trying to block shots, and he doesn't jump high enough, and he's not athletic enough to block shots. Whereas that guy came charging, running through the middle, J-Dub would have been there, J. Will, would have been there for the charge, and I've said that over and over and over. So anyway, that being said, I loved what I saw from him. Chet, I give Chet a B minus. I thought Chet played good, and if we can get that out of Chet, which is about what I thought, 12 to 14 points a game, 8 rebounds, and a couple of blocks, and he had 4 blocks, and I think that he may end up having more than 2 blocks a game, but it is a long season. And remember, how many games is Chet actually going to play, which I believe he probably is only going to play maybe. To me, I think Chet is only going to probably play 70 games, 65 to 70 games, because I don't think you can play him a lot. I'm not sure if his body will be able to take the physical abuse that is going to be required of him. So I don't see Chet playing 82 games. I just don't. I think he's going to play 65, maybe 70 games, probably play 3 games, take a game off. If it's back-to-back nights, I don't think you should play him on that. Depends on who we play, but if it's something to pad his stats, then possibly. But for the most part, I think you keep Chet out of back-to-back games as much as possible. But anyway, he was really nervous at the first. For you all didn't see the game, which, I mean, what can you expect? He really was pushing himself to the umpteenth limit, trying to do a little bit more, turning the ball over, missing shots, and you could see the Thunder pulled him out. And then in the second quarter, you can see that the Thunder made a concerted effort in getting him the ball and getting him some confidence. And as the players as a whole did that, and I liked what I saw there. And then Chet did respond. Now, late in the game, he turned the ball over, didn't get a rebound when he needed to. But once again, he is going to be a rookie. And like I said, we'll see what he is or isn't by the time Christmas rolls around. That's what we'll see, what Chet is or isn't to the Thunder. To me right now, I'm still up in the air on Chet on what he will or will not be able to do. We shall see how that works. I do have confidence in him, but like I said, I think he's 12 to 14 points a game. He's 8 rebounds. He's a couple of blocks, and hopefully it'll be more like, 4, but a long season, 2 blocks is still quite a bit, maybe 3. So we'll see how he does that. Trey Mann, I thought he played really, really well in distributing the basketball, being careful in shots, shooting more shots at the line, not so many shots far back from the three-point line, because I believe that was part of his issue last year. That when he's shooting, when you're 3 feet behind the line, he's got his right foot way out in front, which means that throws your body off as far as your shooting style and what you can and can't do. So he missed a lot of shots simply because it was too far back, and he get his stride out there to get the ball out there. And so, but he's on the line, closest to the line, his shooting percentage goes up. And like I said last year, I would rather have him almost than anybody in the corner hitting a three-point shot at the end of a game. I like what he does, him and Isaiah Joe. I trust either one of them as far as being able to take shots at the end of the game if they're in the corner or on the wings, on the line. Now, when they're back from the line, that's the issue that I have with both of those guys as far as shooting. I will say that Shackelford, I really like what I saw out of him. Maldonado, not bad at all. Jared Butler played really good in the beginning, but at the end, he was a little suspect in what he was doing at the end. But overall, I will say that I really liked what I saw with the Thunder. Going to give him a B-. And like I said, I've seen all I need to see from J-Dub, to be honest. And those of you who saw the game will agree. What hell else do you need to see from this guy? He clearly, he's head and shoulders. Jay Will, now I understand probably playing one more game along with Chet and Jay Will. I think Chet probably needs to play at least one game in the Summer League, the actual NBA Summer League that starts this Saturday. I think he needs to play at least against the better echelon, and there's more talent in that and more teams. So I think he needs to do that, but he still has bulked up. I think, what did he gain, 13 pounds or something like that. So he looks a little bit bigger. He was completely out of shape, which a lot of it has to do with the altitude, which I was drafted by Utah, so I can tell you the altitude does affect you when you first get there. So, but anyway, the Thunder, I thought, did good. When you look at the summer schedule for the Thunder coming up, here's the Summer League schedule right here. The Thunder tonight typically play the Grizzlies tonight at 6 o'clock. Now, that's a 6 o'clock game because this is Eastern Standard Time. So the Thunder will come on at 6 tonight, and it'll be on NBA TV or the NBA TV app. If you don't have NBA TV, you can get the app and pull it up that way, which, of course, I have. I had to get the app to do that, but you can watch it on TV if you need to with Hulu or YouTube or whatever you got, cable if you have NBA TV. If not, you subscribe. I think it's $12 or something like that to watch the games. So that's kind of up to you on what you want to do with that. And then, of course, we play tomorrow night in our final warm-up Summer League game against the Sixers at 6 o'clock as well. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. And so we'll see where we are with all of that and what's going to happen. But anyway, the Thunder tonight at 6 o'clock on NBA TV. So I'm excited. Now, what I was going to tell you guys earlier that I was pretty excited about. Well, I really didn't even know. I heard about this last year, and I think I said something, but I had completely forgotten all about it. The Thunder, I don't know if you knew this, we are the only team in history to have a trio score 30 points in a game. That's kind of cool. We're the only NBA team in history to have a trio score 30 twice, in a game. We had KD, Harden, and Westbrook, and then we had SGA, Giddey, and J-Dub. And you would think that the Golden State Warriors should have done it with KD, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, but they didn't, which I thought was interesting. But if anybody could have did it, it would have been that group. But, of course, it was KD, Harden, and Westbrook, and then, of course, SGA, Josh, and Jalen Williams, J-Dub. And when I look at this, what does that mean for the Thunder? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. The future is very, very bright for the Thunder. When you look at what we have to offer right now, you know what you're starting with. You know what your starters are. It's going to probably be J-Dub, J-Dub, SGA, and Josh as your guards. And then what I saw the other night, it's going to be very easy for you to start Jay Will and Chet together. But they probably will start. Dort, and either J Dub come off the bench or Jay Will come off the bench. But I do like that, and then of course you've got Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe to bring off the bench as well. But I do like the fact that you can kind of go a little bit big. Chet still can't guard the wing, and neither can J Dub. I did see that. Chet is more of a center than a four. He just is. When he and J Dub are out there, he does a decent job, but he cannot guard out on the wing. And now when a guy does drive to the basket, thank God we've got Jay Will in there because he will take a charge, which he had a couple big charges there in key moments the other night. And you know that he will take the charge coming in. And so he does a good job of planting his feet and sliding over so he can really more help you with that as far as that's concerned. So I do like the fact that he is there with that and he can help us. So when I look at our starting lineup, I like either way. I don't know if Dort is going to like coming off the bench, so I think that you almost have to start him because who are you going to put on the best defensive player? Now, I will say this. I like what I saw out of J-Dub defensively. He is very long. He's got a long reach, and he can do a fantastic job of cutting people off. So I did like that. I did like what I saw with J-Dub defensively, so I can kind of see that. But for the most part, I think you're going to have a hard time putting a Harden on the bench and starting, and excuse me, not Harden, but Dort, and Dort coming off the bench. I think you'd almost rather have J-Dub coming off the bench to give you that boom for Sixth Man of the Year, which is a huge award, or Dort, either one. But I think Dort, I don't know mentally he could handle coming off the bench, if that makes any sense at all. I think he's going to be much better at starting and J-Dub coming off the bench than J-Dub starting and Harden coming off the bench. That's kind of how I look at it now. I could be wrong, and we shall see how that works. But I do like what I saw in that 8 because remember we talked about that. You've got, and let me pull up the Thunder roster real quick so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. And that's the issue I have right now, which is why I have to go into one of our sponsors and get my deal done, my stream deck, so that I don't have to thumb through this. I can just push a button and be able to get right to my Thunder roster and not have to look through it like I do right now on my thing. So anyway, here's the Thunder roster. That's what the Thunder have, okay? You've got SGA, you've got Trey Mann, and you've got Kaysen Wallace. Okay, those are your guards. And what I've seen thus far, we didn't get a chance to see Kaysen, and we won't see Kaysen until Saturday because he was in the trade, so we won't get a chance to see him until the actual Summer League. But, you know, Trey, I really like what I did see out of Trey. But you got to remember, okay, we know we had SGA, Josh, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe for sure, those four. And then now with Vasile Mikic, I need to learn how to say his name. I tried to look it up the other day to see how to pronounce his name because I don't like butchering somebody's name. And so I've really got to work on that. And tonight I'm going to really try to find somewhere I can get his name, where I get his whole name set up anyway. Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, and that with SGA. So you know those are your 5 right there. With J-Dub is 6, Aaron Wiggins is 7, and then Chet is 8. And then after that, man, it kind of get Jalen Williams is 9, J Will. So you know you got your 8 right there. What is that? That's SGA. Well, we don't know about Vasily right now, so let's keep him out because we don't know. Let's do SGA, Josh, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, J-Dub, Aaron Wiggins, Chet, and J Will. Those are your 8. And then you still got Davis Bertans, which could be a trade deal. You can drop him off. Maybe he's a nice little backup just in case you need him. You got Kendrick Williams, Jeremiah Robinson, who we yet to see in Summer League, which I will probably see him, if not tonight, for sure this weekend in Vegas, because I don't think that J Will and J Dub will play. I don't think there's any need for either one of them to play past tonight. I just don't see why. And probably Chet, I would like to see Chet play a little bit more, especially in Vegas against some more NBA games. I'd like to see Chet play a little bit more. That's just me. I like to see him. I don't really want him to get hurt, but I think we need to see him more than a couple games. But we do, after the night against the Grizzlies, we'll get a better view of what we think Chet is or isn't going to be. So that being said, here is, we want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Collaborative Logic. I want to appreciate everything they do for us as far as keeping my system up and running. In fact, like I said, I need to take my Stream Deck into them to get it done. And I did it for them, but when I updated it, it was completely gone. So I'm sure they know how to keep that, and then how when I tried to take it with me, I couldn't take it with me on the road to do that. So when I go on remote, so I need to have them fix that completely for me on how to do the Stream Deck, both on the road and at home, because it works at home much better than it does on the road. So I need to figure that out. SRB, if you have any any engineering, surveying, or planning, he is the guy to talk to over there, my boy Mark Long. Oak Grove Trucking. And yes, Jose Fierro, I'm going to get to USA Soccer, but I know, and he's sending me all these messages about USA defending. Dude, I know all that, but I haven't got to USA Soccer. And I've already talked about USA being the defending Gold Cup champions, by the way. Oh, and that's my guy, Oak Grove Trucking, Jose Fierro. Greg and Max Nafee, appreciate them. I'm sorry I missed them yesterday. Max's food is just fantastic. Not happy that I missed those guys yesterday for 4th of July, but I'll make it up for sure for Christmas. Then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. And they, of course, are our sponsors for us to go out and do remotes to minority women and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. And we appreciate them for their sponsorship for us to go out and support those businesses. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com if you want us to, or if you need to pre-qualify online. Or since they are a personal bank, and we had Nathan Taylor on the other day, and he was talking about the night for the Thunder game, and he was the post game after the storm. And he was talking about how they are a personal bank and they love for people to come in so they can meet you and talk to you. But you can go into the YNB main bank at 401 Elm in downtown Yukon. You can do YNB East, which is on US 66 and the Yukon Parkway. YNB Mustang 218 North Mustang Road there in Mustang, Oklahoma. YNB Parkway, which is off I-40 and Garth Brooks Boulevard. Can't miss that, just right there in front of the Integris Hospital, just south of I-40. Can't miss it. And then YNB Peoples, 6201 Northwest 23rd, which is the bank that I always go to right there. It's a great bank if you want to go by there and check it out. It's right there between MacArthur and Rockwell and Oklahoma City. That's the one I go to because, driving to Yukon sometimes, unless I absolutely have to, I prefer to go to that one because it's just closer for me, even though I do like going to Yukon and seeing Randy and hanging out with the peeps over there, which we do once a month. We do go to Yukon and do our show there, and we do like going to the main bank. And then, of course, DT Construction and Consulting. If you have any need for any construction work, any roofing or anything like that, they are the people to talk to for that. And they also do, if you got some house stuff wrong with your house, they're going in and fixing our guy Ben Dillman stuff. So if you just got regular stuff that needs to be done around your house, they can do that too. But, roofing and construction is what they do. You can contact Drew at 405-209-4051, 405-209-4051. They're respectful, local, and loyal. You can also email them at dtconstruction2015@outlook.com. You can do all of that, and they'd be more than happy to take care of you on that. So now, there has been a bunch of signings. We don't have all of them, but the signings that we do have today, here's what's at each team and what each team has done. Oklahoma City Thunder, we signed Vasily Mikic. We've got Patty Mills, Jack White. We traded for Victor Oladipo and draft compensation, which, of course, that's not a 7. It should be and draft compensation, which, of course, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's probably a salary dump, I would think, along with Patty Mills. I just don't know why we need Patty when we basically have our thing. And I think that's just the salary dump and to get some compensation for us. The Suns, I tell you what, the signees that they picked up, they've got a lot of young guys. These guys aren't in their 30s. They're younger, all in their 20s, mid to late 20s. So they're all right there, and they've got a nice supporting cast for their big three that they've got there, Bradley Beal, Booker, and KD. I think they've done a fantastic job, and I think of all the NBA teams, they've made the best trades or the best signees to help their team and met the needs that they had coming in. Sorry, guys, I'm sitting out here on the patio. It's a little warm, and I'm trying to drink as much water and stay hydrated as possible right now. But anyway, that is what the Suns are doing. You can see where the Mavs, they re-signed Kyrie. They signed Seth again. I believe Seth has already played for the Mavericks one time around. Dante Exum and re-signed Dwight Powell. They have not signed re-signed Christian Wood yet, which I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing for them. You can see where the Heat signed Josh Richardson, re-signed Kevin Love, and of course Thomas Bryant, traded Victor Oladipo to us, obviously. And then my thing with the Heat is now, Damian Lillard wants to go there, and we'll talk about that in NBA news here in a minute. But, you've gotten rid of Vincent, he's gone, and Max Strus is gone. So both of those have been opted to sign with other teams for more money, and they made a big name for themselves, which you almost got to be careful, because the thing is this: you sign for these guys, but they play great under and in the Miami Heat system. And a lot of times people play great in systems, and it's the system, not so much them. The Spurs, of course, you can see what they've done, and they've just tried to get better. But, they're still a year away. Victor Wembanyama is going to be good. He's going to do okay, but he's still a rookie. So we'll see if he can even win the Rookie of the Year and make a bigger splash oh, my God, my mind just went blank, Banchero. So we'll see if he can do exactly what he did last year. Bulls, you can see they re-signed Vukovic. They've got Kobe White and Javon Carter. Yeah, they did okay, but, the Bulls are still the Bulls, and when they broke them up, they have not been the same since, kind of like the Patriots. Leading Tom Brady, they have not been the same. And what did Jerry Reinsdorf said? Hey, we'll be back in 3 years. I think that's what he said. What did he say? That it's not players that make teams, management makes teams. Because of his ego, the Bulls have not recovered from that man's ego. Neither have the Dallas Cowboys, and that's just how it works. Ego can't be part of this deal. You got to check your ego at the door, and it's about the team, not about you. And when you figure that out, it's best. Coaching matters. Players matter. The management matters as far as getting the players there, but it takes coaching and players playing together to make it work, and that's facts. When you look at the Nets, I tell you what, re-signing Cam, nice little pickup. I think Cam has still been a so-so player. He's really not met, I don't think, his full potential as far as the league is concerned. Excuse me, had to sneeze right there. My bad. Apologize. Had to turn the thing off so I could sneeze. But he hadn't quite met his expectations. But the signing of Dennis Smith Jr., then the trade of Joe Harris, I think they need to get rid of that, try to start over. And I think what's basically happened is Jacques Vaughn has taken players who he had issues with, they're gone, and bringing in new players. So his voice will matter the most. The Rockets, Fred VanVleet, some people don't like that. I like Fred VanVleet. I like that pickup. I do believe they overpaid for him, as well as Dylan Brooks, but what they needed some veteran voices in that lineup. They needed some veterans in the locker room. They needed some people who are winners, and for sure Fred VanVleet is. And I think that Dylan Brooks will add a little bit of toughness to a team that's young, athletic, and not so tough, and plus change their attitude, because by trying to lose, you build a losing culture mentality. And I think that's what happened to the Rockets. They've been trying to lose to get into the playoffs or get into the lottery, and now what you basically build is a loser mentality, a loser culture. And I think that's what they've done, and they've tried to trade away from that. Raptors, Dennis Schroeder, nice pickup by them. With losing Fred VanVleet, they needed something. Jacob Protl, nice little pickup as well. Jalen McDaniels, they did pretty good. I'm not really I like what they kind of tried to do here. The Knicks re-signing Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. I think that's really the Warriors. To me, everybody likes them, but to me, you're stacking your future on Draymond Green, and you're getting rid of Poole, and you're getting rid of DiVincenzo. I think that's going to hurt the Warriors more than what people think. I think but once again, they wanted Draymond and blah 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 and all that, and gave him the 4 years, $100 million with the fourth year as his option, which basically means they guaranteed him $75 million. That's what basically they guaranteed him. Said they paid him. Said, okay, you're gonna, based on what you did for us before, we're gonna give you $75 million guaranteed money. That's basically what they did. The Pacers, Bruce Brown signing him from the Nuggets. That's going to hurt the Nuggets. The Nuggets are really hurting. They didn't sign Grant. They lost him. They lost Bruce Brown. The Nuggets didn't do a whole lot to really help themselves. And I think they're not going to be as good as everybody think they're going to be. That's just me. I think that trade right there, they're losing Bruce Brown and losing Grant, is going to hurt them a lot more than what they think it's going to be. The T-Wolves with Anthony Edwards, Shake Milton, Alexander Walker, and Troy Brown is going to help the T-Wolves. They just re-signed Anthony to an extension is what they did. Lakers, I thought the Lakers have got way, way better with Cam Reddish if Cam can actually reach the potential that everybody thinks he has. It didn't work when he was at Duke. He got to New York. It didn't work there either. Went to Portland. Didn't work there, and now he's a free agent. So the Lakers may be able to do something with him, with LeBron. That might help. It might see if his career can be resurrected. So, but I like what they did compared to last year. They did absolutely nothing. Re-signing Austin Reeves is not a bad deal. And like I said, $15 million is about right for somebody of his stature and the way he played, and rewarded him for his work from off-season from year one to year two. So we'll see now that he got a mini bag what he's going to do from here. The Pelicans, they're just a dumpster fire. They've got to get rid of Zion. I just don't see him, and he can't play. I mean, there's no way. I've torn my hamstring too, okay, or I hurt my hamstring. He didn't tear it, but it does not take 4 months for a hamstring to heal, okay? It just doesn't. Now everybody's body's different, but I'm sorry, he played 29 games last year or 27 games last year out of 82. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have paid him all that money, but that's just me. The Cavs with George Yang and Chris Everett and Max Strus. Adding Max Strus is going to help their backcourt and help them because of his shooting ability and adding some shooting off the bench, which is what they clearly needed. Pistons with Monte Morris in the trades and Joe Harris trades. Monte, of course, coming from the Wizards and Joe Harris from the Nets. So we'll see what that really does for them. The Pistons got to get better. They're young talent. Of course, they got Cade Cunningham as their point guard, who was a beast until he got hurt last year. First year, he was really, really, really did make first team all rookie team. And remember, our guy Josh finished right outside at 6, so he made second team. Golden State Warriors re-signed Draymond Green. Corey Joseph is going to help them quite a bit, but I just don't know with losing Poole and DiVincenzo, can that one guy make the difference? I think they're going to take a step back. Magic, Joe Ingles, they did zero. But the Wizards, to me, made the most noise by trading Monte Morris, by trading Beal, and then getting re-signing Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, Landry Shamet, Tyrus Jones, Gallinari and Muscala are both just, that's more like window dressing. That's all they are, be able to come off the bench and get you to knock down some shots. That's basically what all those dudes can come out and do and shoot some threes. They can't defend. They can't defend me. They can't defend you. But they both can shoot the three, so that's why they have those in. Nuggets, re-signing Reggie Jackson, I think the Nuggets are going to take a step back. That's why when I did my power rankings that I dropped them back as well. The Grizzlies with Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, and Derrick Rose. I don't see how Derrick Rose is going to help them a lot. But he did go to the University of Memphis, and like I said, I saw him play in high school, and he was the league MVP until he tore his knee up. But what a player he was! I think he's just a shell of what he used to be. Blazers re-signing Jeremy Grant, they did that more or less, I think, for a sign and trade. But they want to trade Dame, but there's just not a lot that people are willing to offer for Dame that's going to get them what they need. So if they keep him there, I just don't see how that's really going to help their team get better. I think the Blazers are still no much better than what they were. I don't like what they're doing at all there, but I mean, I know you don't want to give Dame away, but basically you're going to have to give Dame away. That's basically what's going to have to happen there. Sixers, James Harden opted in. What he found out is nobody wants him. Like Russell found out, nobody wants him. And he not opted in for that $35 million, he'd be in the same position or close to of what Russell was in, going from 48 to 4. That's a huge drop, and he'll find out nobody wants you. Bucks, Chris Middleton, Brooke Lopez, Jay Crowder, you stayed old. You did not get younger, you stayed old. That's what you did, you stayed old. You didn't do a whole lot. The Celtics, Porzingis, woo, and Brissett, you still haven't re-signed Grant Williams, which you clearly are going to let him go. I just got rid of your heart and soul in Marcus Smart. I think the Celtics, based on the talent they have, they still should be well. But with Kristoff, he can't stay healthy, even though he did this past year. He does stretch the floor, give them another shooter, do give them a shot blocker inside. With, of course, when Robert Williams is not, which is hurt, it kills them. But that's going to help them, I think, if Robert Williams can stay healthy, along with Porzingis. That really, really helps your inside. Then you can go with Jalen and Tatum and Dana White. So that's a nice little five that you can kind of go with. Clippers are the Clippers, the JTS Clippers, Jets, Mets, Clippers. They are who they are. The Kings re-signing Sabonis, Leanne, and Sasha Vezanov. God, but I got to get these names right. And Trey Lyles, they should be back in it again. And then the team that's scary, I think, are the Jazz. They re-signed Jordan Clarkson and added John Collins. And when you look at what these teams have done, I think it makes a huge difference as far as, what in the Thunder, when you look at the Thunders in the West, it's going to be tight. But like I said, I'm still pissed off that they took Hendricks. I mean, we're going to see what Kaysen is, Kaysen Wallace, but I'm pissed off that they took Taylor Hendricks. We have yet to see him. We probably won't see him until the Summer League, till Vegas, before we get a chance to get a good look at Taylor Hendricks. But I wanted that guy so bad. But, I mean, we'll see what Kaysen does, and I do like Keontae. So I like him, and so we'll see what he does when he gets a chance to play. He did not play at all last night, so hopefully we'll get a chance to see him tonight and see what he can do. But, so, in NBA news, the Trailblazers weren't impressed with the Heat's offer. They don't have anybody to trade. Strus is gone. Vincent's gone. Nobody wants Tyler Hero but them. They just don't really have anything to offer them, and that's what one of the spots that Dame wants to go to is the Heat, but the Heat don't have anything. They're clearly not going to give Dame away, so he's kind of stuck where he's at, which is sad because they can send him somewhere he doesn't want to go unless they can get into some sort of three-team trade where the Heat can give somebody something that they might want for that, and they can trade and Portland can get something back. I just don't see where that's really going to help him. I just feel sorry for Dame because they should have got rid of Dame last year. That's what they should have done when he was worth a bunch. But they wanted to keep him in. They were loyal to him, so I can really say that, it's nothing against a team being loyal. There's no fault in that. Now, the NBA to test in-game flopping. In-game flopping. We shall see how this is going to work. Now, one of the things is that soccer is the worst floppers in the world. And yes, Jose, we're going to talk about soccer in a minute. But soccer are the worst floppers in the world. Oh, my God. They flop like nobody's business. It just really, really wears me out what they do. But in the NBA, it's just gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous. And Luka is one of the worst. And LeBron is bad, too. They're both horrible at it. It's not as bad as Luka. He just flops. Oh, I got hit in the mouth. Thank God for replay so that you know that nothing happened. So that's a good thing. But anyway, we're going to see when that happens. But a lot of these guys in the summer league, in this particular summer league, are not going to flop because they're trying to make the team. The last thing they want to do is be dramatic. They want to be out there trying to make plays. That's what they want to do. But anyway, the NBA is 3rd and 5th. The last night for the California Classic with the Heat, Spurs, Lakers, Warriors, and Kings is tonight as the last game for that. The Thunder play tonight and tomorrow night. They play the Grizzlies tonight and the Sixers tomorrow. So that's going to be a good test for them. And, of course, Summer League actually starts on Saturday in Vegas. That's when the real Summer League starts. This is a nice little test to kind of see where guys are. But the real Summer League starts this weekend with that. So that being said, let me go ahead and throw this USA Soccer so my guy Jose Fierro will get off my back. Get off my back about soccer. He's on me about it. So let me throw my USA Soccer out there. Remember, we beat Trinidad Tobago this past weekend. Just spanked them. It just wasn't even ridiculous. And then, of course, I did not update this, but Jose gave me the thing. We play Canada tonight. On the 9th. We play the 9th, Sunday the 9th. We play Canada, and it's at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. our time. So I will update this tomorrow so we'll have the correct thing. But USA plays Canada, and we are the defending World Cup champions. But we play Canada Sunday the 9th at 9 p.m. or at 8 p.m. our time. And I will have this updated, Jose, so you won't be all mad at me, and get that done. And, of course, World Cup women's soccer plays Sunday as well, July 9th against Wales at 3 p.m. in a friendly match in San Jose. So that's going to be a fun little match to watch the warm-up before the World Cup starts. And, of course, the World Cup starts Friday the 21st against Vietnam. I don't know if I'm really going to watch that. I don't know who's going to watch that. I'll probably watch just the first half because I think we're going to smash them, so I don't really want to get into. I know we're going to smash them, so I'm really not going to really watch that. Then, of course, I definitely will watch the Netherlands and the Portugal matches, but I doubt if I watch Vietnam. But I'll just see what our girls look like, and hopefully we won't be overlooking them when we play. But I'm interested to see what happens with that. And then, of course, in NHL news, here are the top free agents. I was hoping my guy Ben Dillman, High Stick Harry, was going to be on today to kind of talk about this. But here are the top NHL defensemen or free agents, and he can just kind of give me his opinion on what he thinks about it, because this is what I have as far as have the guys out here and who I'm going to talk about, and he can kind of give me a feel on what he really thinks about this, is because these are the top free agents that I saw that I pulled up, and he will be able to really give us his opinion on all these. But Matt Dumba, Minnesota Wild, of course, which is a defenseman. Nick Holden from the Ottawa Senators, he can break it down for us about it. Patrice Bergeron from the Bruins, which is, of course, High Stick Harry's team. Patrick Kane from the Rangers, which I'm surprised that the Rangers need to re-sign him. They really need to get Patrick Kane back in the fold. These are all your forwards. David Crayo from the Bruins, another Bruins. Two of the Bruins come out, they had the best record and really failed this year in what they should have done, but the team that beat them did get all the way to the finals. So that's something that you can hang your hat on, that the team that beat you got all the way. Zach Parrish from the Islanders, he's also a forward. Paul Stastny from the Carolina Hurricanes. I need to fix this, man. I need to go in there and fix this and get this right. But when you're doing it in a hurry, you shouldn't do that. Vladimir Tarasenko from the Rangers, also a free agent, another forward. And then Jonathan Toews from the Blackhawks. I don't know why these guys have to have hard names. I can have an easy name like Matt Clark, Ben Dillman, Drew Hinthorn. Basic names so we can get stuff done. And then, of course, your goalies, you got Halleck from the Rangers, Jones from the Kraken. I just like the way that sounds. I like Seattle, Kraken. I like mystical type stuff like that. I like that. And then Starlock from the Chicago Blackhawks. So I like that, man. I like the Kraken. I don't know. I don't know why I like that name. but I do. I truly, truly like the way it sounds. And then last but not least, in NFL news, and it's just, I mean, there's just a lot going on in NFL. It's about, another couple weeks away from training camp when it starts. I think the 17th is when all the things have to be signed. So we'll see what the Chiefs are going to do with Chris Jones and how that's going to, because for them to do anything, they've got to get him signed to create some cap space if they're looking at getting D-Hop, which I don't know if they really are, but he'd be a great addition to the Chiefs. But at the same time, as long as he doesn't demand the ball, Patrick Mahomes, the one thing about him I think that made him so great last year was that you didn't know who the hell he was going to throw the ball to from game to game, and, other than Travis Kelce. So that's something now. Would he help them? Yes. But the question is there trouble in Patriot land? Owner Robert Kraft and Coach Bill Belichick. Coach Belichick made the comment that, the team wasn't doing well because, they didn't spend the money. And then Robert Kraft came back and said that he's never not given Bill Belichick anything he's ever asked for. So Belichick is trying to deflect off of himself because now being the greatest coach of all time because of Tom Brady and because of him, because I think the marriage of his defense and him being able to come up with plans to stop the opposing team and Brady's greatness as far as being able to win games made the difference. But once again, Tom Brady's not the greatest of all time, and for all you think he is, you're wasted. You need to get off whatever drugs and whatever alcohol that you're drinking and stop it. Because as several old school, like Charles Haley said the other day, Tom Brady would not be 45 years old playing back when the Cowboys. He goes, I can promise you I'm going to take those 2 extra steps and plant him. And he's just going to be like every other quarterback. They're going to make it to about 35, 36, 37 and be done. He's not going to play those other 7, 8 years. And he's right. And that's been my comment all along. Anybody from this generation cannot be the greatest of all time if they could not move and not mobile. Now, Patrick Mahomes is an outlier because unlike Randall Cunningham and those other guys, he's way smarter quarterback than they were, but he was mobile just like them. But unlike them, they look to run, he looks to throw out of the pocket. He runs last, throws first. Where these other guys come out of the pocket, they run first, throw second. He was always throw first, run second. He's just creating time to get the ball down the field, way more mobile. That's why I think he could have been great back in the day, but once again, it's hard to say that. NFL blaming players for not wearing the right cleats, citing the field that was used was similar to what the Eagles play on. Now, what the reason why the NFLs have said this is because mainly the Eagles are blaming the field and saying they got beat by the Chiefs because of the field. You got beat because of a holding call. And that's the thing that I don't like about Fox Sports. Fox News, they lie, whatever. They drive me crazy with that. They just come up with stuff. And then Fox Sports, dude, that guy was horrible. I mean, how do you not have Troy Aikman as your analyst? How do you not have Tony Romo? You've got a tight end. I mean, to me, it's like, oh, I didn't see a hold. Dude, you were against the Chiefs the whole time. At the end, you're not saying, oh, I hope the kicker doesn't slip. I mean, guy, you're garbage. You should not be on the biggest stage in the world, okay? You should not be. There's a bunch of guys you should have. I think, to me, you have the best guys in the NFL in the Super Bowl. I mean, he held him. The Eagles are talking about, oh, the field was slipping. They play on the same field the Chiefs. The Chiefs slipped. You were slipping, they were slipping. They didn't see them griping about it. The field was bad, yes, but it's the same field similar to what you play on. I'm over that. Quit coming up with excuses. Problem with today, look, you got beat. Get over it. Move on. Get ready for next time. Don't cry about it. Don't go, oh, we cheated. Yeah, I can sit there and cry about the state championship game. Yeah, did he foul me? Yes. Did they call it? No. Did it change the outcome? Hey, we lost. It's irrelevant. But I'm not sitting there crying about, oh, well, he fouled me and he did it. No. It is what it is. You got beat. Move on. Get better. And you have different cleats, whatever. I mean, to me, the Chiefs played on that field before in the beginning of the year against the Cardinals. So they knew what to expect. You, on the other hand, they changed the field out, but it's the same one that you played on Eagles, which should have been your advantage. But now you're crying about it, saying that was the excuse. Oh, we would have did this if we could have killed that offensive line. No, you wouldn't have. They would have stopped you. Things would happen. It's the quarterback. The line has to do is create space and create a little time for him to get rid of the ball. That kind of crap just drives me nuts. But Greg Olson, I'm not a fan of his. I didn't like him from the beginning. I'm like, who is this guy? He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's not even breaking down plays. He's not even because he's too busy being one-sided about the game. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think Fox Sports should have anything to do with the Super Bowl. And if you do, I think Tony Romo, and he your best guy, why isn't he on it? You had Greg Olson. He was terrible. He was terrible. I'm just not a fan of Fox Sports. I'm just not. I mean, I do like FS1 to listen to a little bit of Callan Cowherd. I do like him. Some of the stuff he says is great for the most part. But after that, I do like First Things First. That's pretty good too. But Ocho and all those guys, come on. LaShawn McCoy, Joy is the best thing on that thing. She brings them all down to reality. That's the thing you talk about women in sports. I do like a person who's knowledgeable, not that's out there trying to be a showboat, that's out there saying a bunch of knowledge, super stuff. Back your stuff up with stuff that's real. Don't try to get clickbait. Talk real stuff. Give me the truth. Tell me what you think and back it up and make it to where I can go, hey, you know what? You got a good take there instead of going, what the hell are you talking about? And I hate that. The news is the same way. I'm tired. I hate even looking at the news because it's BS. I'm tired of people lying about stuff. It drives me nuts. Let's just focus on the things that are true. You got to go, and all you got to do is go check it out for yourself. Like a pastor once told me at church. He said, my job is to present the Bible to you. Your job is to go look it up and read stuff for yourself and have your own interpretation, not to be based on what someone else says. And that's my thing with you and with me. All I'm doing is educating you on what this stuff is all about. That's what we're doing here. We're educating you about sports. We're giving you the real facts. It's just like on After the Storm, my Thunder post-game analysis. We're breaking down stuff to you. We're telling you what's actually happened. My job is because I believe that the more educated you are, the more understanding you have of the game, the more interested you're going to be in it. That's how it feels. You look at OU fans sometimes. They say stuff, and you're like, "What are you talking about?" Some of those guys are so far out there, it's crazy. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? You're high. I mean, this is how I am about sports. I give my opinion, and you prove me wrong, because I know my stuff is based on the eye test. My stuff is based on what I see. My stuff is based on the numbers. It's not based on one thing or the other. It's a combination of things. So if you have an argument against me, hey, please hook me up. Hook a brother up. Come at me. I would love for you to give me your opinion on what you think. Because can my argument be changed? Yes, sir. My mind can be changed. It has before. I have a friend, no matter what you tell him, nobody's going to convince me of, my opinion, my opinion. I'm like, well, that's short-sighted. I have my opinion, but, hey, you know what? Don't raise your voice and prove your argument. So my thing is this, can my argument be changed? Can my view be changed? Sure. Give me your view. Give me your legitimate points. I will weigh out what you said against what I think. And have I been wrong before? Yes. Has my mind been changed before? Yes, because I'm open. I think I can't grow if I'm closed-minded. If you're closed-minded, there's no growth. There's no growth. So I'm off my soapbox there. Hope everybody's having a good day, and I'm sorry about that, but I had to say what I had to say there. And today, I want to thank Bruce and Benny for letting me come to here to the Rococo. Remember, it's Rococo Wednesday for the Rococo Chicken. It is fantastic if you haven't tried it yet. They're at 4308 Northwestern. You can call them at 405-400-7495 to make a reservation or come in. They're open Sunday through Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. And you can call them for catering or events at 405-534-8838 for that. And I apologize for, my deal about politics. I just said nothing about politics, but I'm just saying it just drives me nuts about certain stations are not my favorite. It's just like ESPN. How are you getting rid of all those guys? It's I don't get it. The thing that I do like about live streams and podcasts are very simple. You're not tied to some producer who's above you telling you what you should and shouldn't do. I don't like that. You got to take this side, you got to take that side. If we agree, we agree. When I have Drew Henthorne and Heisek Harry, Ben Dillman, we disagree and we agree. We can do that. Have Nathan Taylor on when we're doing the Thunder After the Storm. We agree, we don't agree. It is what it is. It's no big deal, and nobody should be mad. Now, tonight, we will be doing our After the Storm OKC Thunder live post-game analysis live stream after the game tonight. The game, remember, is at 6 o'clock tonight on NBA TV. So you can watch us there. If you're not, we'll be on Facebook and on YouTube. You can search YouTube After the Storm OKC Thunder. And then you can watch me on Facebook. If you're my Facebook friend, we will be live on that. And, of course, the show, The Unpopular Hour, you can go watch that on YouTube. Search The Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark, and subscribe, like, and hit notifications as well as After the Storm. That way you don't have to worry about it. Whenever we come on, you'll get a notification. And then, of course, you can go to www.mcsportsnetwork.com if you want to watch us there. And you can watch any of the shows that we do that. So, that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day today. Enjoy this. It's nice, and I don't know if we're going to get some rain, but the sun has been blocked and the clouds are coming. So anyway, so everybody have a safe day. Enjoy yourself. And remember, after the storm tonight, watch the Thunder game. And after the storm, our post-game analysis show will be on. After that, you can check me out on YouTube, or if you're a Facebook friend of mine, you can watch it there. That being said, everybody,